Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and this is Dominions 4, The Thrones of Ascension. We are Ulm, and we are forging ahead. And it is spring in the year 3 of the Ascension Wars. War with Black Ulm has started, and they did something that I did not expect, but we will go into that in just a moment. First of all, we are now up to level 6 in construction, which aids us quite a bit because we can forge a lot of items that are going to make our lives much easier, some of which I have already started forging. Cyber Commando did not find any magic sites in the Earthshell Mountains. We are having a lot of trouble with finding magic sites, but again, this is all about Ulm. We're supposed to destroy magic from the world, so we're sure doing a bang-up job of that. Our blood hunters are going nuts. They found another 23 blood slaves, so we are turning them off for right now. They're going to straight research, which actually is not that useful for them because it's drained Dominion, but I don't want unrest to get any higher in OE parity. It's hurting our income. Finally, here's what Black Ulm did. Rather than stay where they were, and rather than let us fight them, they went off and took a neutral province to their south, Omur. So that's not incredibly bad news for us because we can sort of hold on to them. But let's just take a quick look at Black Ulm. Since a few of you, they're a mod nation, a few of you might not know what they bring to the table. So they have typical infantry of Ulm, same as us. But then they have these guys who are lantern bearers, okay? And they have Bane Metal, which is stronger than Black Steel, I think, and they have a lantern attack, which has a magical attack here, and it causes decay and fire in a small area. Now, decay is pretty tough because it, I think, causes you to wither and die, or something horrific like that. It's the effect that Bane Metal has. So these guys are a real pain in the butt, and apparently they also have an attack where those killed will rise as soulless beings. And that is their small area fire and decay attack. So it's even worse than that. In addition to them, we have these guys who are the Black Legionnaires. They are pillagers. They have a siege bonus, a defense bonus, a patrol bonus, and they wield Bane Metal blades, which also have a decay attack. Okay, so they're really tough, and they're also really well armored. Then they have regular infantry, just like we do, including pikeneers, only they're called Nachtwachters, and what makes them different from our guys is they do have formation fighter and a patrol bonus. They still utilize women in the armies of Black Ulm, and they have Lederfraus, who are basically just an amalgamation, I guess, of the early Ulm female warrior archers. They're mostly archers, and they have some regular arbalesters as well. So Black Ulm is basically just like Ulm, but on steroids. And here's their prophet, Griffek, who has a black steel helmet, but otherwise, I don't even know if that's an improvement over his Bane Metal, but whatever. He is a hero. He has heroic precision, which is great for, well, he's a prophet, so he can Sermon of Courage, I guess. And then, were these guys made ethereal? What's going on here? Oh no, Bane Metal Infantry. So these are just hardcore. These are basically their version of Guardians, I suppose. They're wearing all Bane Metal, and they also have the Bane Metal Maul, which causes enemies they slay to rise as soulless beings. These guys are not fooling around at all. So it's better for us to take them out sooner rather than later. But let's just see how they completely maul this poor army of independents. Whew. I want to see if they actually... No, I don't see any soulless beings rising from the graves, but... yeah. Yeah, they rose one soulless warrior, they lost one infantry, and they lost their knight. Other than that, they completely destroyed the wolf tribe. So here we are fighting them in Marini. And we are well arrayed, but... oh, and here's something we haven't seen just yet. So these guys here are their Zerstorers, and they have Wraith Swords. What makes Wraith Swords interesting is they life drain, so they can heal the wielder of wounds if they attack and successfully attack with it. They also have the Bane Metal, and they're undead, which is kind of good in that they can be banished, but we're not particularly good at being priests, so for us it's not a great deal. More Bane Metal infantry. So they're really taking advantage of their national troops. This is going to be a tough battle for us. But again, it's better to fight these guys early than late. And once we have our evocations up to level 6, we'll be a lot more formidable. Alright, this is what we want to see. Armies of regular Ulm versus the armies of Black Ulm. Boom. They took out one of our guys real quick. Luckily, we are earth melding them. Thank you, Demonicus. Alright, our lines are matched here. Our Pikeneers. Hopefully we can repel them because they are, in general, stronger infantry than we are. Their ogres are up there. The Zerstorers are hanging on. Our Pikeneers don't hit very hard. They're just good at defending, holding a line. As you can see, we are not having the best of this exchange. But we're doing well enough. And as soon as our... Whoa, our Arbalesters just did a number on them. And us, looks like. Their Bane Metal infantry are in the fore here. So let's see here. What is this? Well, it doesn't really say, but you can see our guys are getting... See, this is decaying. This unit is aging at an extremely fast rate and will probably die within minutes. That is the side effect of the attack of these guys. The Black Ulm are not to be messed with. But hopefully we can outproduce them and outmagic them. Holy moly. Our troops are actually retreating. Of course, so are they. Let's see if we can't take a few more of them out. The Blade Wind is virtually useless against them. It's actually hard to see who's who in the battle, too, since we both have the same color. Alright, so what was the damage there? We lost 15 infantry and 16 Pikeneers. Luckily, all of our commanders survived. Of course, so did theirs. They lost 18 Barbarians, 1 Ogre. They lost 8 of their 10 Zerstorers, so the majority. 7 of their 10 Bane Metal guys, so that's good, but only 1 Black Legionnaire and only 8 of the Nachtwachters. Alright, well, let me introduce you to some new folks. First of all, Corvus Corax is down here in Umbro, and he's a regular smith. Then we have Caractacus, who is a second to fire in a row after Cal Lord, so welcome Caractacus. And here in Ulm, we have Erectus, our black priest. Actually, no, sorry, our priest smith, who's moving down to join the forces, because I'm hoping that we'll get Iron Blizzard very soon. So we're just going full on against Black Ulm. We have Hobble the Rock going against Anphalia, and we're splitting up our forces here to go to Shepherd's Haven and Belagor. This might end badly for us, but I'm hoping for the best. They don't have any national troops, but they do have province defense, I'm sure. So we'll see how it goes. But this is our move, because if we can take these 3 provinces from them, this whole middle country will be ceded to us, and then the battlefield will be down here in these 2 provinces. And we'll need to. And their armies are all the way down here in Omur, although they could go back up to Marini. They will find, however, a province that does not have any of our troops in it. Meanwhile, Batman's coming up here to maybe hang out in impassable mountains. Just keep an eye on things. And it appears that Nazca is fortifying their position here in the room. Mountains, I've increased our defense up to 30 to compensate for that. So let's take a look at Arcade Knight real quick, because I've done some things for him. I basically alchemized some fire gems. It was expensive, but worth it. So now he has a Scepter of Authority, which will allow him to spam combustion during the battle. And he also has a Helmet of Heroes, which I want most of my guys to have. This gives him Inspiration +2, which improves the morale of every unit assigned to him by 2. And at the cost of only, I think, 3 fire gems and 3 earth gems when one of my smiths forge it. Then he also has the Bracers of Protection, just a basic 1 gem item. It's 5 gems normally, but my smiths with the hammer can do it for 1, which gives him additional protection and defense. And then the Girdle, which is better for mages, but it'll help him to improve his strength and his reinvigoration. Now, I don't intend him to ever be physically in battle, but you never know, and for right now, it's good for him. We aren't done yet, however. With level 6 of construction, we've gained a lot of new items that we can forge. Okay, so first off, we now have access to lightless lanterns, though I'm not going to be forging them because we can do owl quills, which are superior in my opinion. Then we have the copper arm, which is expensive and cursed, but it allows the smiths to have an additional hammer. I'm not entirely sure what it does. I don't know if it helps with forging, but we'll get one of those soon. But what's really important is we now have boots of stone, which is useless for cavalry commanders because for some strange reason they can't wear boots, even though they are but a man on a horse, so presumably they have feet. But this gives anyone who wears it mountain survival and stone skin automatically. So this saves my smiths basically a turn of having to skin themselves, so to speak, and will allow them to attack more quickly. And I think our enemies aren't using too much cold, so I'm not too worried about it. But what's really interesting is the Armor of Knights. Now this is a relatively new item. This was not in existence when Dominions 4 was first released, but one of the patches added it. But it costs our guys only 1 earth gem, and it's a superior armor to black steel. Well, it's not superior, but it's lighter. So it's got a defense of -1 and an encumbrance of 2. So for example, Arcade Knight here, defense -3, encumbrance 4. So obviously, and it's protection of 22. So by replacing this with that, he gets improved in all areas. Now, I also was thinking of it as being a good thing for our smiths, but it turns out the ring mail here, it's great in terms of protection, and defense is equal, but this is encumbrance 1. So it's actually better for our smiths to stay where they are. They're not as protected, but encumbrance is what you really want to worry about with magic users, because once they run out of encumbrance, or once their fatigue, I should say, reaches 100, they're useless, and they're just sitting there waiting to die. Yeah, so that's that, folks. Anything else to say? Not really. We're going to move on Dovin soon, and it looks like R'lyeh might as well. Now, what's cool about this is if they do, and we attack them, it won't count against us because we didn't know they were going to be there. Interesting. This is Black Ulm. So Black Ulm now has a castle in the Infinite Sea right off our coast. They can't build castles, so this has to be a magic site that they found. And there's Alsvin just hanging out again. But they've conquered the Sea of Woe, and so now it's shark versus shark as R'lyeh is getting into it. I guess this is good. We want them to fight each other, but it looks like Black Ulm is really strengthening their position in the water, which they shouldn't be able to do because they're not a natural water nation. But if we could push them off the land and into the water, we're going to be in great shape. As far as research is concerned, I wanted to get Alteration to level 4 so that we can have Curse of Stones, which will also help us against Black Ulm. It's basically a spell that requires 1 gem, and it basically wears out your mage, but for the entire battlefield, it increases the weight of the enemy's armor, so it tires them out and fatigues them. So it should help us quite a bit. It actually requires 3 earth gems. Good lord. But a valuable spell if you're fighting a huge army of heavily armored troops. So we're going to go ahead to get that, and then we're going to go full evocation for the rest of it. We're already almost at 5. We're going to try to get to 6, as I said before. Alright, well, let's see how it goes, huh, folks? Things are starting to get a bit exciting. Alright. Chief Smith has finally found a magic site. A Mercury Pond. I'll have to look at that. I think it's a water site, though. Dark Woods, Nazca. They don't want there to be any remaining independent provinces in their area. And frankly, I don't blame them. And they're fish. So, yeah, Nazca is just going to tear them apart. Bountiful Land, Xibalba. Xibalba has a lot of provinces, so even though they don't look very tough, and they should fall like crazy to our Blade Wind, we still need to be careful because they're going to be getting a lot of income. Alright, Shepherd's Haven. We're striking off against Black Ulm. Let's see how we do. Oh, this is mostly an independent army. It looks like they only have 1 or 2 Black Ulm troops, although we are very weakened. Holy moly. We shall see. We should be able to take the knight out. And our Blade Wind should do, yeah, a good job on that. Knight's gone. They're already running. The Black Ulmish commander's probably like, come on, guys. He's very disappointed in the lack of morale among his non-Black Ulm troops. But they got away. Doven. This is independent province. A good grab for us, and it doesn't necessarily put us at war with R'lyeh. We've got some dire wolves. Yeah, meet dire Ulmish troops. Yeah. Only the dire wolves have the strength to fight us, and they're gone. Good night. We are Ulm. We are forging ahead. We didn't lose anything. Shepherd's Haven, we didn't lose anything either. Anfalia. This one's a bit tricky, because it's just Havel. No magical support whatsoever. Oh, yeah. We'll see. Our Arbalesters might be able to make things happen here. But they're shooting at the wrong guys. Nevertheless. Oh, no, but there's Black Ulm's infantry. Oh. Come on, Arbalesters. No, they keep fighting. What? What? Black Ulm retreats. They had victory in their grasp, and they retreat. Havel the Rock, that was a miraculous victory that should have been a loss. I will say that, truly. That was amazing. Good job, Havel. Then we have Belgor. Are we going to make it a hat trick? Let's see. This is probably our strong... Well... strong-ish. Demonicus is here. Oh, yeah. They're weak here. This will give us an opportunity to maybe take out some of the Black Ulmish troops. Get some revenge for the lives they claimed with their decaying Bane metal and their dark magics. Oh, they don't want anything to do with us. They're like, eh. And we're going to earth meld him. Oh, he's having a bad day. He's having such a bad day. And yet he stands. Well, no longer. Come on, catch up. Catch up to him. Come on. Oh, he got away, but this guy isn't. Just a regular infantry, though. Not a big deal. And we lost our scout in Omer. Alright, so there we go, folks. This was incredibly successful. And we took everything. So now we have to... Oh, Night Marsh, huh? So now we have to move everyone back to Marini. Because we don't have much left here. We have... very little. Very little. We do have plenty of arbalests, but in terms of actual infantry, we're not doing very well here. Oh, Silvius, you made it out, huh? I don't think I set Silvius as retreat, but apparently he was like, screw this, guys, I'm getting out of here. Normally my scouts are not close to my territory. But this is kind of good because we could look at the forces that are going to be arrayed against us next turn. So, of course, we have a ton of Arbalests. And we have a ton of the Nachtwachters. But we don't have that many of their special kill troops. Although we do have this guy. The Bane Drinker. Okay, I forget. What do these guys do again? I guess they're just Skelly Spammers, Death Mages. Really good at researching. And they're ethereal for some reason. And they have a staff that also has a decay effect, just like everything else. This nation is over the top, man. It's a good thing that we are destroying them from the earth. So apparently Silvius survived. Good for him. Alright. And Havel, we need to get you... Well, can you take out a province that consists mainly of barbarians? Then we'd be Winter Peaks. Interesting. So they're up against the capital of Xibalba. I forget if Xibalba had this one. I'm pretty sure they did. Maybe they're at war. I don't really know. But this is gonna be a war to end all wars here. And let's see the Mercury Pond. Yes, it does give us water gems. Not really what we need. Okay, we're gonna head up to High Woods with the Chief Smith. Arcade Knight is gonna get his armor of knights. Makes sense. So now he's, let's see, well, let's just see. Encumbrance 4 and protection 24. Encumbrance 4, protection 23. So it basically gives him 1 protection. 13, 20, 20 defense though. Did he have that before? 18, no, so it improves his defense as well. Alright, it's worth it. He's our go-to guy. So who do we have here? We have Arapert. Arapert is no longer Arapert, but is instead Irati. 3 Earth, and we have to get him into battle immediately because he's old and will soon be dead. Then here we have Rothari, the Black Priest, who's actually going to be N Lord. There's N Lord. And in Oiperi we have Arnulf, typical Smith. He is going to be Lucius von Salmark. Lucius von Salmark, and not old age, so hopefully he'll be with us for a time to come. And Gru, we need you now, Gru, more than ever. Let's get you down into Og Woods. Then next turn we can get you into the fight. And it looks like Relay is massing up troops, but it's their call if they want to come after us. Actually, holy moly, guys, we have a bunch of heroes, and we haven't looked at heroes in a while. So Varabel, of course, has his lightning reflexes. Then we have Miskatonic, I think legendary cruelty. Miskatonic's getting old. Then we have Conand Constantine, heroic endurance, so he has reinvigoration, that's really good. Then Geralt of Rivia, also heroic endurance, which is amazing for a Mastersmith, but he also is cursed, which means that like arrows are going to hit him hard, he's going to have some problems. But still, reinvigoration on a Mastersmith is fantastic. And then we have Solius, heroic precision, also a very good trait for a Mastersmith because it'll make his magma eruptions and blade winds more precise. Yeah, and they're all in one army. Looks like our armies to the south don't quite have the cachet that our... Uh-oh, Demonicus. Alright, and you already had that from old age. Just your never-healing wound. Conand is our one heroic guy down in this region, but there will be more soon. There's Cyber Commando. This castle is 1 month away, which is fantastic. This one is 3 away, and a month... By a month, I mean turn. And we're going to come down here with Erectus to the Earthshell, and then we're just going to mass up right here in Marini. The Broken Land should take care of itself. Oh, but it won't if I don't increase the province defense. Actually, oh, it won't at all anyway, because it's got such a weak guys. They could take this easily. We might want to consider moving the front line down to Searing Sands if we can. I was hoping the province defense would make up for our troubles here, but then if they get through here, they'll be in Gemmer. What does Gemmer have? Nah. Our one saving grace here is that they're split up into 2 armies. Now, if they decide to both attack Marini together, we're going to be in bad shape. But if they instead try to maybe take Broken Land and Marini, we may have a bit more excitement going on. Why would you build a castle in a marsh, guys? Why would you do that? That just seems so stupid. But, hey, it's your call. It's your call. What sucks now is if we conquer that castle, we're not going to, I mean, it's stupid to dismantle it and build another one, so we're just going to have to deal. But we're way out of time, ladies and gentlemen, so once again, I am Marcus Aurelius. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. We are Ulm. and we will continue to forge ahead. Have a good one.